wire wheeling, and then I've got some penetrol down. My next step is going to be to, as you can see up under there, it's cleaned up. I did actually get a bit of thinners in one of my spray guns and cleaned up on that transmission area there. But yeah, my next job is going to be getting out some paint stripper. So always make sure you wear your proper respirator, especially in a confined space, because yeah, respirator and gloves when you're working with paint stripper. As you can see, I've covered up the floor with a bit of plastic for any stuff that's going to drip down. We can just throw it straight in the bin. So here we are, getting the orbital sander onto the door jambs here. So as you can see there, I just got the 80 grit out, got my little orbital sander there with the vacuum attached to it. I'm actually wearing this respirator when I'm doing this because when I did the paint stripper, that kind of contaminates all the paint and it makes it extra stinky. So yeah, it sort of smells like paint stripper. So when I'm doing this job, I've actually got that on the whole time. So I'll do what I can with the orbital sander, and then the bits that I can't get to, I'll be able to get to with the wire wheel. So I'll start with the big ones and then work your way down. The big ones tend to be faster, and then but obviously the big ones can't reach all the places that the small ones can. So that's why I'm starting with the orbital sander, because the orbital sander is bigger. It's got the bigger pad on it. But again, as I say, it won't be able to get into some of the smaller spots. Yeah, so second after the orbital sander, I'll get that one. So that's the angle grinder with the big wire wheel on it. That's actually really, really strong, and it rips into it. So really handy thing there. That's I think it's like 115 mil angle grinder. And then I'll go on with the Milwaukee here. As you can see, they're just, this is an impact driver, and it's a beast of a thing. I tell you what, the reason I actually bought this was for the polisher. There's like a cordless polisher, and it just worked out more cost effective. To get the batteries, it's like you basically got this and a cordless drill for like $100 or something, or it nearly even worked out cheaper. But as you can see here, wire wheel attachments that can go straight onto it. You can see it's got the attachments to go straight onto the impact driver. So it even goes down to all these tiny little ones. And these come in sort of like big packs of all different sizes. So those really small ones, they get right up inside all these edges and that. So yeah, they do quite well. But as I say, start from the big ones and move your way down.
Down from the heights that we have built all by ourselves, and there is fear of the unknown, but we cannot lose control when we feel like the world is against us. We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. which way do we go? Is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing over their legs? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Into the infinite that we must reach. 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 Wherever love goes, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain.
Rightio, so I got that U-Pole epoxy primer down last night. I'm not a big fan of it. It's very thick and it stays wet for way too long, and it's really hard to get like a nice wet even coat over the entire thing without getting runs. So it was much worse on the other side, but even on this side, knowing that I had to be careful, I still got a few runs. So I mean, I'm still going to be able to sand them out. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, I'm not going to be using that same U-Pole epoxy primer on the Resto. I'm going to be getting in some quartz. So I put the stone guard up underneath there. Now I'm actually going to get some base coat and clear coat, and I'm going to 2-pack clear that down. So the way I said, it's going to be easier to clean and probably obviously a little bit more durable. Like that stone guard leaves me with like a slightly textured finish. So it's obviously going to protect from the stone chips, but I want a bit of protection from like the dirt and grime and stuff like that. So I'm going to spray some base coat and clear coat down over here, and yeah, should come up nice. I'm lucky to have one beer a week these days. It's Saturday now, and I didn't have one. Like sometimes I'll have one on a Friday after work. I didn't have one last night, but yeah, as being Saturday afternoon, I just got that done. I got the under the wheel arches blacked out. Got it back down on the ground again. Excuse the mess around here. But I just thought to myself, that deserves a beer. And I was just standing over in the corner of the garage, and I was looking back at my work and just thought to myself, geez, that's been an epic couple of weeks. It still looks like there's a lot of work to go, and there is, don't get me wrong, but that's a big step forward. And I just thought to myself, that warrants a beer. I don't drink, as I say, I don't drink much beer anymore, but that's going down really well. It feels like a big step forward. Basically all the underbody's done. Under the wheel arches are done, and all the body jams are done. Well, all the door shuts are done. So there's obviously going to be a little bit more work around the windscreen, around the back here as well, but making very good progress. And now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I was just so focused on getting that done that I hadn't even given much consideration to my next step. So I'm actually waiting on some quartz products to come in. This job's going to be sponsored by Spray Guns Direct, and we're going to be using a lot of quartz primers and stuff like that. So that's going to be a couple of weeks away. So I've got to think about the next step. I don't want to just go and start paint stripping the insides of the doors or something like that, because I don't actually have more epoxy primer left. So yeah, I just got to think about my next step. I might even get stuck into the engine bay, but again, I'm actually waiting on some stuff from Spray Guns Direct. So I need to have a beer and sit down and think about the next move. But while I'm having a beer, I thought I might give you guys another update on the garden. I've just been doing that at the end of some of my videos lately. So it's spring at the moment, and I've got a few things coming up at the moment, so I've put so many things in that I've actually forgotten what half of them are. But these are the carrots, and they're not too far off being ready for a harvest. I've got some basil in there. That was actually pre-grown. They came in like a punnet type thing, so I put some basil in some of the other bits here and there. This is beetroot. And you can, as you can see, I've got some rows of, as I say, I put so many different things in, I've kind of forgotten exactly what it is. This is Vietnamese mint.
Now it's not like the standard mint. It doesn't actually kind of take over. It's more bushy, like it sort of grows like a bush. It doesn't, like the normal mint, some people have told me in previous videos, oh, careful with that mint putting it in your garden bed, because I know it does actually, it goes down and then the roots start growing up and it can really take over a garden bed. That's some parsley. I didn't even plant that. Again, I don't even know what these are, but it'll be one of those, you know, check on it in a couple of months and I'll let you know how it's going. And over here I should have gotten some before footage, but I do have a couple of photos. I might put them over the top of the screen. But this is just like I haven't even been here for a year yet, but this is like a pile of bricks. It was actually an old fireplace. Someone had some kind of an old fireplace here, and it was a bit of an eyesore. You know, for a while I just mowed around it, but then I just thought, you know what, may as well make that into a garden. So I think that's like beans or some kind of a snow pea or something like that coming up. But again, I've planted so many things in there, I've kind of forgotten what's what. So yeah, it's kind of fun. I've actually got some other little planter pots over there. These are the limes. I'll put these in myself. I had some citrus leaf miner. You know what, I should probably just do like a whole video on my garden, because it's probably going to start getting too long. But here's a couple of other little planter things that I've put some. That one broke off the fence here, but as you can see over here, there's something coming up again. I don't even know what it is, and these ones aren't actually coming up yet. But yeah, anyway guys, see you in the next one. Cheers. Get out there and paint some shit.